"What are you doing out now, little one?" she asked, looking down at him. "Has your mama sent you for something?" The boy remembered the speech he had been told and said it quickly. "Excuse me, lady, are you Mona Ginevra di Gasparo, called Ginevra di Genoa, who walks through pestilence but will never be ill?" "Who has said this of me?" "The ones that sent me. Who said they have seen this to be true with their own eyes." She nodded slightly at his answer, but did not seem pleased to be found. The boy smiled. "Good. Then I have a letter for you." The woman ushered him across the threshold and bade him sit at a small table in the center of her single room. As the boy's eyes adjusted to the indoor darkness, he saw the walls were lined with dozens of neatly arranged blue and white ceramic jars. Above his head were ceiling beams strung with ropes of garlic, the feet of little rabbits, and lots of other lumpy, dried-out things he did not recognize. Mona Ginevra wiped the dust from his face and hands with a damp cloth and placed a pitcher of cool water and a wedge of yellow melon before him. A feast for the boy. He became completely distracted by the sweet, glorious fruit. Mona Ginevra gave a little cough to remind him of her presence. "Oh," he said through a mouthful of melon, "sorry. I am Piero di Piero Cazzola, and I have a letter for you, all the way from Florence. It comes from Signore Ludovico Acciaioli. I don't know what it says, but I'm supposed to bring you back with me right away, and then he'll pay me." He reached inside his smock and triumphantly pulled out the much crumpled and now slightly sticky document. It bore the lion rampant of the Acciaioli family, stamped assertively into a seal of blood-red wax. Mona Ginevra's eyes widened, then narrowed, and the faint lines between her eyebrows became deep furrows. She broke open the seal to the letter and scanned the page, surprising Piero with an incredulous "Ha!" when she reached the end. She read it again out loud, as if requiring a witness to confirm the absurdity of its contents. "In the name of God, amen. It is June the 20th, 1348. My most esteemed and darling Ginevra, your Ludovico has thought of you often in these terrible times and still laments our unfortunate separation. I have entreated my dear uncle, Fra Angelo Acciaioli, on your behalf. In your absence, he has been appointed most holy bishop of our city, and he is willing to reverse your exile. We believe your unusual talents may be useful in resolving a small problem for the city. It is different now in all things, except that you remain locked within my heart. For your Ludovico, I beg your swift return to Florence. In the name of God, amen." Ginevra smacked the letter down upon the table. "You were exiled?" exclaimed Piero. He was impressed. "What did you do?" "Nothing," she said through gritted teeth. "Tell me, what has happened that the great Acciaioli family places such a message in the care of a beardless boy?" Piero was stung. He thought they were friends because of the melon, and cast his eyes to the floor. "They sent me, because I was the only one they could find that would not die." "What do you mean, the only one that would not die?" He began to tear up a little in spite of all his efforts, and said in a whisper, "My whole family got sick, and they died. But I became well. They say if you survive, you will not catch it again. That's why they sent me. Because another might fall ill and die along the way, and you would never even know they sent you a letter." Ginevra di Gasparo was ashamed then, having forgotten in her own frustrations to show compassion to a most unfortunate creature. The walk from Florence was 7 days at least, for one who knew the way, and with things as they were, there would have been any number of ghastly sights and dangerous persons along the road. She saw Piero now as he was. A child sent when grown men were afraid to go. She cursed her short temper, a lifelong failing, and went to him and patted his head.